Howdy, how do, and welcome to the latest edition of Late Limbs, everyone's favourite nostalgic fantasy football podcast where we talk all things CMO 102 Super League, random football quizzes and discussion topics, and generally just reach out and say, how are you? It's always good to talk. If you're happy, let's be happy. If you're sad, let's be sad. Let's just do it together. And with me, my partner in crime, the real brains behind this particular operation and the man who does all the hard work. I literally just pay the bill. Evening, Smuts.
Evening. Hello. Howdy, apparently. We like that. Yes, the knitwear is back out again. He's literally by the door of the conservatory now, just to make an appearance. It's the only reason I come into this conservatory in the dead of winter is just to see your beautiful visage.
Well, one, it's not beautiful. No. Two, I realised I put the Super League start icon instead of the Late Limbs icon at the start of this recording, so expertly done as always. And third, how is everything in Casa Smuts? I don't think we've actually had any Super League since we last recorded, so it's good to literally catch up.
No, we did. Yeah, the following day.
We recorded Wednesday, didn't we?
Yes, I did some keepy uppers, all right-footed because my left toe is broken because I keep kicking stuff.
Yes, and then there was no show Sunday, so let's just catch up on things away from the game for the time being. So yeah, how's things in Casa Smuts?
Yeah, it's been okay. Nothing drastic to report. This must be the most boring section for everybody else, where we just say, "I've not really done anything this week." Yeah, but how have you been?
We're hoping that people start to tell us what they've been up to.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I have had
inspire us to do more things.
We almost considered getting a plan together for this weekend for the pair of us, catching up.
We have got a plan together. It's just you haven't followed through on said plan yet.
Yeah, in fairness, I was going to nip at lunchtime to go and set this plan in motion, but I drove past the KFC instead and got distracted.
So obviously, it is Mother's Day this weekend. Yes. You have a mother to tend for in the house with two kids running around. I was going to say. Yeah, I knew what I was saying.
You have a mother, but she did pass away a decade ago.
She did. But no, there is a mother in your house that you have to prepare for.
Yes, there is a MILF indoors. Yeah,
and she's leaving you for the afternoon. And with me not having a mother in the house to worry about, that leaves us the afternoon to go off and play.
It does, yes, yeah. We're potentially going to try foot golf for the first time.
Possibly.
I like football. I used to be good at it.
I like football. I've never been good at it.
I like golf. I used to be good at that.
I've never been a big fan of golf, but I like competition.
There you go. So we fucking said it already. We'll see how we go. I'd be interested. If not, we'll try and see
the much chastised Madam Web,
the filthy Spider-Man film. Yeah. If not. But I tell you what, first matter of business before we start anything, I've had a very, very important question from one of our avid listeners. Specifically for you. Right. Now,
is it of a personal nature?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Sort of. So I'm going to try and do this verbatim. So, as the resident Steven Seagal of the Super League, whatever.
That's because my name's Steven.
No, it was more the do the kicky punchy stuff with your black belts and what have you.
Yeah,
and I've got a black belt too. Mine's just got holes in it and a buckle.
That's where I've come back from. Successive training nights. The irony that I drive all the way home to do this when my training on a Wednesday is only about 12 minutes from your house. Yeah,
yeah, it's quite funny. Because you like kicking and punching and that.
I do.
Would you rather fight 1 Fyfie-sized duck or 10 duck-sized Fyfies? Big question from the shooting.
1 Fyfie-sized duck.
Yeah, you reckon you could go full Peter Griffin versus that big chicken?
Well, whenever this question's asked, I tend to flip between the answers.
Whenever this question's asked.
Yeah.
You've been asked that specific question more than once.
No, because you normally get the horse-sized duck or the duck-sized horses, that kind of thing, don't you?
I suppose.
So I'm just thinking 10 midget Fyfies would be an absolute pain. Because although I'm not, a physical freak of nature in terms of cardio or anything, I do know how hard I can kick. And if they're, even though they're small versions, if there's 10 of the fuckers kicking me, it's going to hurt eventually.
Well, it depends if they've got duck feet.
No, you said duck-sized Fyfies. Yeah,
it doesn't mean that they're not got.
I back myself to beat a 6'1" duck over 10 1-foot Fyfies.
Fair play. So there you go, Paul. There is the answer to the question that's been burning your entire life.
And then I'd crispy that fucker up like on a Chinese.
I do like an aromatic crispy duck, in fairness. Yeah. There's no need for the hoisin sauce.
No, we sack off the hoisin sauce as well.
There's no need for the cucumber.
I don't mind a bit of cucumber. I'm not a big fan of spring onion.
There's no need.
It washes the palate. No. Technically, it's a salad.
Exactly. There's no need for a salad in anything. There's no need for a salad in anything.
How excited have you been that the Big Tasty with bacon's back at McDonald's?
Not asked.
What?
Why have a burger that's you put fucking salad in? Stop it.
We'll just ask for it without the salad.
So just a double quarter pounder of cheese.
But no. The Big Tasty with bacon is a different level.
Because it's got bacon in it.
Well, no, because you can have bacon in any of the burgers. But there's just something about the Big Tasty. It's superb.
All right. Well, there is a McDonald's right near my work, so I did have a KFC today. Yeah, fuck it, I'll have one tomorrow. I'll give it a try, and this time next week when we record this, I will have a taste test for you.
We might be having one on Sunday if it's that close to your work.
So that's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Although I'm in training, so I can't be eating that sort of rubbish. Says the guy who, because he doesn't actually eat proper meals on a Tuesday or a Wednesday because of how late he gets home. So for dinner tonight, I've had a Scotch egg, a salted caramel mousse, and I'm drinking Boost Sport isotonic citrus.
Having caffeine before bed. You're muted.
Bloody cats. And then a packet just in case I get a packish.
Full packet. Impressive.
Let's see if that's still a full packet by the time it's done.
And then if you get really hungry, bob it.
Cat. So, literally nothing to report from your week then?
No, nothing at all. I mean, I know.
Let me ask you a question then. Let me ask you a question because I know how your week's been because we talk every day. So let me ask you. You had what, best part of 12 hours, just you and the kids at the weekend? How was that?
I did. Yeah, it was good fun. It's good fun. Yeah, I mean, Saturday is ordinarily Daddy Day anyway, so I'll be up 4 or 5 in the morning with them whenever they wake up, do breakfast and what have you, and then it's sort of tea time by the time my wife gets up anyway. So I don't really. It was only a few extra. Basically, I just did bedtime as well on top of that, so it wasn't too drastic. But yeah, it was good. It was when she's upstairs, I can literally, every now and then just go, right, both of them screaming at the same time. You have one of them screaming her in, and I'll sort the other one out. But yeah, full blown parent mode. It's good. It was nice. It made me feel like an actual, I felt like a proper parent. Yeah. I've done it before, done it plenty of times. It's just that the fallback was that my wife was in London, fucking hundreds of miles away, so I didn't have backup at any point. So that was the only difference.
Spending a small fortune in Lush.
Yeah, which is where like about 50% of the wages that I bring in every month go is to fucking the CEO of Lush. Ridiculous. But yeah, did you have a fun experience down in the Big Smoke?
In the capital? Is it known as the Big Smoke?
Yeah, I'm sure it is the Big Smoke. Yeah, London's the Big Smoke. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? So to pour water over any random rumours of wife sharing and stuff that you may have just inadvertently started there. Let's just clarify that I was down in London for Aidan's birthday. He's every year now he's picking a show to go and watch, and he'd picked Frozen this year. And your wife has wanted to see Frozen for many years, but you're too up your own rear end to take her. So
I do not have the ability to go all the way to London to watch a show I don't want to watch, and leave the two kids here. Somebody just to look at the buckets.
I asked my now 15-year-old son if he would mind an extra guest along the way, and he said no, it's absolutely fine as long as she's a fan, and she is. So there we go.
My wife shoehorned her. My wife had never met your son before and shoehorned her way into his birthday celebrations. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened.
But they seem to get on very well.
Yeah, because she's closer to his age than both of us.
No, we worked it out. I'm closer to her age than Aidan by about 4 years. It's very close.
It's too close. It's
too close.
Which means, as I'm a couple of years older than you, it's even closer.
You and Aidan are about the same distance.
It's fucking ridiculous. It's painful.
But yes, we had. I think, as far as I can tell, they got on well.
She's not shut up about it.
My brother was there as well, which was nice. It was a family trip. We include Mrs. S in that group, and everyone seemed to have fun. There was retail therapy. Aidan got birthday presents from you and from Scott, which was nice. We went to the Top Hat restaurant, which is the Monopoly themed one, for some lunch, and it was a good day. Good.
Glad. As long as Aidan had fun, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
I know my wife did, because, like I said, she will not shut up about it. She will not let it go.
Very
Fun
nice.
Time.
Very nice. And on top of everything else that she bought on the day, she also treated herself to a new hoodie. Which, did she tell you the epic discount that she got on it?
No, she's not even mentioned this hoodie. She's clearly bought that much that she's just hidden a few bits and pieces from me. I saw the Lush order. I have not seen anything else.
The Lush order, the bag about this big that I ended up carrying around London.
I can imagine, yeah.
Oh,
suitcase full.
Yeah, well, they were selling this merch at the theatre, and this hoodie was however much it was, probably, I don't know, 40, 50 quid. And but it was £20. No, it was £20 if you bought something else. So my brother had bought Aidan the souvenir program thing that you get at all the shows, and then Mrs. S was in the queue, and the woman said, technically this is this much, but you get a deal. I realise you're all a group, but you weren't stood together in the line, so I'll just give you it at the because you bought the program price. We were like, oh, cheers.
Fucking ridiculous. Yeah, no wonder she didn't tell me about that.
Well, anyway, now that I've managed to cause the next marital debate, which no doubt will play out on our shared WhatsApp chat, which will be very amusing for me at work tomorrow. Should we get on and talk a little bit of Super League?
Do we have to?
Yeah, we'll keep it
get it out of the way. Let's get it out.
So there was no game at the weekend, which means We're recording Wednesday. I'm doing packs as soon as we finish, and then the game will be tomorrow night, game week 21. So we're really into the final reckoning before the playoffs. And I have some news. That has happened in between game weeks. It's literally the only thing that's happened. Two managers won't be happy with some injury news. I can tell you that much. I won't tell you if you're one of them or not. But let's break some news on late limbs. We have been given a Manager of the Month award, and it went to Mr. Mike Savage.
Congratulations, Mike. That is pretty much for Robbie Savage scoring. Anybody who can get Robbie Savage to score in the Super League deserves Manager of the Month.
If we've had a Manager of the Month, it means we've had a Player of the Month. And look who's back. Maxim Sigalko has finally turned up.
Yeah, about time. Tail end of the season is where you want it, to be fair.
If we've had a Manager of the Month and a Player of the Month, it can only mean that we've had a Young Player of the Month as well. Joe Cole of Dudley Hill. Well done, Mr. Cole.
He's probably won it 3 or 4 times, has he not?
Yes,
over the last couple of seasons.
I imagine he has. I could probably just tell you if I click on a separate screen. So that is Joe Cole's second Young Player of the Month award. He won it in October and now February this season, yeah. Player of the Month, Sigalko's first award. Previous winners are Cuenca, Van Nistelrooy, Duff, and Joe Cole, going in reverse order. Manager of the Month, that is Mr. Savage's, and he becomes the 5th different manager to win Manager of the Month this season. It went Savage, Anderson, Campbell, Smuts, Dimble.
I was waiting for one particular name in that list.
You're the only one that doesn't get your actual name as well.
I've gone to great lengths to hide it. I don't know why. I've always been known as general response on the internet.
So, going into tomorrow's game then, and the crucial last, it's one of the last 6, isn't it? Because there's 26 games. So.
It's an easy 3 points for top of the table chaser in Edwards. Easy 3. I might home or away. I don't even know at this point, but either way,
there's been such a long gap. You've forgotten what's going on. I'll tell you what. Let me let's do this properly. Let's share a screen so you can see what's going on.
Okay, let's go. I'll go
Here we go.
So I can see.
So you are away to Northern Burn.
Away. So absolutely 0 chance. So obviously, Burn getting beat by LSK, was it last week or the week before, was a real coupon booster. Buster.
Booster?
Sorry.
Do you mean Buster?
Buster, yeah. Look, Scrub is a guy that's also known as a buster, so is a booster. Even bigger coupon buster would be if Foss Road won away from home against Northern Burn. It is not going to happen.
You are 11th in the form table away from home.
I'm surprised it's as many as 2 wins.
In terms of home record, you're actually not bad, up in 4th.
Still been okay. But again, I started the season well. Home form again. But yeah, look who's top of that home form.
Mm-hmm. So we got the best home team versus the 11th best away team.
Yeah, it is only going one way. It really is.
Let's just have a quick refresher ahead of tomorrow's live show of what happened last time out. So Dudley beat Fulchester. East Coast lost a 5-goal thriller to Stanley. Exiles beat Vikings 2-0. You got a draw with Sloths. Stackington won 3-1 away at Haggis. That's a big result as well, to be fair.
Huge result.
You mentioned LSK Burn. Badgers beat Sancte. If I remember, 10 men? Yeah, Desai got sent off. Badgers still won. So that left the table looking like this then. Vikings, 8 points clear of Badgers, a point clear of Burn, who are 2 clear of Haggis, who are 1 clear of Stanley and Sancte. And that's your top 6. Underneath them, Exiles 2 behind. Coast and Sloths a further 1 behind. Then you're 2 behind that, as are Dudley, as are Stackington. And then that just leaves Fulchester and LSK, whose seasons, all but who finishes bottom, being over.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, it's a 9-horse race currently for the 6 playoff places.
You don't think yourself, Dudley or Stackington stand any chance?
Stackington are probably the one out the 3 of us that you'd probably give a shot to with their form. Yeah, there you go. I'm in 9th and Dudley Hill in 7th. Yeah, I'm surprised either of us are as high up as that, in all honesty. Interesting that Haggis and Sancte are both down there, as Sancte are obviously chasing that playoff spot, or one of the playoff spots, as were East Coast. They've just dropped out this week. So it is very much the business end of the season now, isn't it? And it'd be interesting to see when it gets towards. I do have some playoff stats from Swanee squirreled away for when we get that far. So
and of course, tomorrow's show we'll see the announcement of what's to come next season, because there was a vote last week, and the vote was pretty conclusive as to what people wanted. Yeah. The vote was pretty conclusive as to what people wanted. So parties involved have had a discussion, and on tomorrow's live stream there'll be an announcement as to what the future holds.
Oh, that's interesting. Breaking news that will mean nothing to anybody. Rox is currently live on Twitch playing Champ Manager, so that's interesting.
Well, I mean, hang on. What we could do potentially is that I could get a third screen up and just have his Twitch stream, so when people listen back, they've just got today's action yesterday.
I like that. At the end of the recording, we can do exactly that and really confuse everything if he's still going. I did the Super League and wider audience have spoken, and we want more boring. We want very much the return. So, in fact, I've screenshotted Martin's plan, which was 1 show a week, so halving the current output.
But doubling the excitement levels, because it means it goes on longer.
Yes, it does. It drags this horror show out even longer for teams like me and Steve, who are not technically out of it, but are all but out of it. The playoff hunt. Continuing with the save that we're on, I think that was pretty much the plan for most people. After only 2 seasons in, that's pretty much expected. Unlimited transfers, that was a part of pretty much all the proposals as well. It would have been voted on for me, obviously. And that is it. That is the entire proposal.
That's the proposal.
Yep. The end.
Well, you'll get a much clearer picture of how that plays out on tomorrow's live stream.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Speaking of things that are confusing, though, let's move away from the Super League and tell me what exactly is going on at Leicester City. How are you breaking the rules to the point that the EFL are having to change them?
Fucking massive club, ain't we? Do what we fucking want. EFL coming at us. We want a business plan off you, please. Fuck off. We're in the Premier League next season. You can do one. Do not give a shit. You're breaking the rules. No, we didn't. We were in the Premier League last season. The rules don't apply to us then. Good point. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. But can you not break the rules to the end of the season? We're going to be in the Premier League next season. Doesn't fucking matter. Massive club mentality.
So for anyone who's not aware of the story, can you break down what's actually going on?
Yeah. So effectively, we currently have not broken any EFL transfer rules or financial fair play rules, or basically any of the rules. What we have said is, as of the 1st of March, here are our finances, and here is to the end of the season, which is, I think, the 30th of June or whatever it is. And here is what we expect our finances to be at that point. And at that point, or within the time frame of March to June, we will fall foul of the EFL financial fair play, because the players that we've got out on loan will end up coming back into the squad, and we'll have to start paying their wages again. And it doesn't allow for, we're probably going to, if not win the league, be second or third and get a bunch of payments, prize money. We probably sell some players, but that won't kick in until next season, finances, etc. Doesn't allow for any of the boost that we're probably going to get for going up. So as part of the process, the EFL says, okay, right, well, yeah, that is a good point, but can you give us a business plan and tell us exactly how you plan on not overspending before the end of the season, if possible?
Bear in mind, the season finishes in 2 months.
Exactly that, which is complete. So our business plan was basically get promoted. Fuck off. And in the last 5 days, the EFL have got pretty much put their nose out of place and said, "That's naughty. Do as you're told, please. You're in the EFL at the minute. You have to do as you're told." And we've taken them to court independently and said, "This is fucking bullshit. Tell them to get back in their box." And the independent commission went, "Yeah, fuck off, EFL." And everybody has moaned, which is hilarious from that point of view. However, when you actually look at it, our finances are in a fucking hole.
You think yours are in a hole? Let me just read something. Keep talking. I've got to find a graphic, and then let me talk to you about in a hole.
Well, yeah. If you look at it from a point of view of, we are going to be over £83 million worth of losses for the season, or something along those lines. I'm sure £83 million was a number I read at some point. That is the entire budget for probably League One and League Two. We are leaking money because of terrible decisions on player signings and contracts, extensions, etc. We've got players like Mark Albrighton, who
still at the club,
36, 37, has played like 2 League Cup games all season and 7 minutes off the bench here and there. He's on well over 100 grand a week. Vardy's still around. Granted, he's still our best player. He's on 150 plus grand a week in the Championship. This is so silly money. It's not like we can sell either of them fucking players, because they're well into the wrong side of 30. And in Albright's case, we don't want him, let alone any fucker else. You know, he's not dropping down and playing for Rotherham for 20 grand a week when he can sit still and earn 100 grand a week. It basically, and that's the kind of thing that it doesn't allow for. At the end of the season, he's out of contract. We don't have to stop. We're not paying him anymore. And the fact that we didn't get rid of Rodgers quick enough, and the reason we didn't get rid of Rodgers quick enough is because we had to pay him a lot of money.
That was easy for you to say, wasn't it?
It's because we had to pay him a lot of money to fuck off. And that money will also be in the fucking losses. 20 million or whatever it is, to get rid of that fucking useless cunt. And if you look at it, on paper, we were a dick's width away from the Champions League places twice. And he fucked it up twice. And then all but got us relegated the following season. There is 2 people to blame entirely for the mess we've been in. The first one being Brendan Rodgers, for being an absolute useless cunt. But John Rudkin is the main target of my ire, because he allowed Brendan Rodgers to just run roughshod over it, and he has been the man with the purse strings. He's the one who has had free reign to piss money away on just ludicrous signings that haven't worked and were a fuckload of money.
No, absolutely.
So you're going to moan about Swindon owing £3.50 and a Kit Kat to HMRC now?
No. I wanted. There was one. I just can't find the thing with the one figure that I wanted to tell you about. It was ridiculous. But basically, Swindon put their end of whatever figures in, and I mean, we don't have a pot to piss in anyway. As a club, it's an absolute shambles. Despite the fact that we've never been more commercially viable in terms of we've got enough sponsors at the club to have one of them Formula One boiler suits where all the different logos fill it. I think at last count we had 782 sponsors around the club for different things. I just can't find it. But basically, a professional football club in League Two. It has released figures to say that we are spending over 3 million of our budget on administration costs. 3 million of our budget on administration costs. Now, bear in mind, for anyone who's watched Fools Rush In and will know that we're always talking about all the things that go down at our club as administration errors, we are literally paying for those mistakes because we have zero money, and the reason we have zero money is because we spend 3 million on administration errors.
Jesus wept. That is not ideal.
£3 million. Bear in mind, I've not seen us. I've been a fan now for 20 years. We haven't spent 3 million total in transfers in those 20 years.
Now, you're moaning about administrative errors to a team who missed out on their star signing by fax being sent 14 seconds too late.
Mate, if you want to play administration error top trumps, we got fined for not paying Notts County the money for when we were away and obviously sold the tickets. We were late by 14 days, and those 14 days cost us. We wouldn't have been fined if we paid it. You get X amount of time to pay that money, and we paid it 14 days late. For 2 weeks. What are you doing? There's a process of how professional football clubs work, and we decided now we'll keep that £100 in the account for 2 weeks, and it'll only cost us £2,000 in fines.
Shambles.
Honestly, mate, absolutely.
Yeah, it has been quite funny. As it is very 2003, and Neil Warnock, aka Colin Wanker, had. When we were the last team to fall into administration before they started docking you points for getting sent into administration.
Yeah.
And we went up in 2003, and Sheffield United finished third and then didn't go up in the playoffs. What Colin Wanker tends to forget is even if we were docked 10 points, we still won the league by about 15 points. So we would have still gone up regardless. I think it's similar to when he is still hasn't got over the fact that Tevez and Mascherano came in to West Ham. And then they got docked points for it or got fined for it, whatever it was, the following season. The same as every other point. We wouldn't have got docked points in that season anyway. We would have got docked points the following season. And as we were in the Premier League, we wouldn't have got docked points in the Premier League. He just moans for the sake of moaning. It's why he is Colin Wanker. And I apologise to Paul Taylor because he's a Sheffield United fan and he loves him. But
yes.
Fuck that guy and his pseudo cream arse.
Well, we're into the second half of the episode, which must mean it's time for games and quizzes.
Well, first and foremost, we do. I have asked the avid
alumni.
listeners, and the Super League alumni exactly, as one of the shouts from I believe it was Tato. I thought at first it was Duggan, to be honest, but it was Tato. Mentions that during the Unicorns and Sloths game.
Oh yeah, it must be the biggest myth.
If you want to get the lineups up, if you don't mind, on screen, this must be the most amount of myths on the pitch at once throughout our two lineups. So I thought it'd be interesting to get people's opinions on what they classed as a myth.
Okay.
And to be honest, a lot of those names on the pitch have been mentioned as potential myth players. In fact, everyone on my team got nominated as a myth except Martin Larsson, Z Roberto, and Patrick Vieira. Oh, and Chewy. In the starting 11. So almost the entire starting 11 for me. And for Alf, Kerr, West, Zidane, Rivaldo. I'm sure Enrique would have done if anybody cared that he existed as well. And in fact, Clivert got a vote for me as well. So yeah, it was interesting to put out who people would class as a myth. I mentioned.
So how did people define myth?
So that was one of the questions that got asked as well. So effectively, a high caliber of player who either did really well in real life or has a high ability in the game and should be a success each and every time in the Super League. But players like Zinedine Zidane has got the highest rating, highest current ability and highest potential ability of any other player in the game.
Absolutely wank.
Has zero Super League pedigree in terms of he's constantly disappoints every single season without fail. And you will be surprised to hear that every single team that came back had Zinedine Zidane in the team. Every single one. Except initially for Tato, who sent his team back in and had Taribo West in it twice. And I said, who's that second West in midfield? Is it Fred?
Leo Fortune.
Yeah, no, I meant Zidane. How you get them mixed up? Not sure. Impressive effort. But I also mentioned the loudest shout for the mythical formation is the diamond in midfield as well. That always gets brought up as never working, although it always seems to work every time it plays against me.
Okay.
So I sort of sent it out to the masses and said, all right, in this formation, who would you pick as your biggest myths across the board? So in goal, it was pretty evenly split across two in particular. Any ideas who the myth goalkeepers could be?
Some people would have voted for Casillas because of what he became. I mean, he was very young in the game, obviously.
Has had an absolute horror of a season.
Has had a horror of a season as well, which wouldn't have helped his cause.
But historically has been very consistent and has won Super League.
Super League winner.
So, exactly.
There's a lot of managers out there who have this bizarre, borderline hatred of Seb Frey, which I just don't get.
I don't. I haven't had a chance to have him at any point, so I don't understand it either. But Seb Frey is one of the two highest voted for myth goalkeepers. And
then it's going to be one of like Costanzo or Vulgaris or someone of that ilk as well.
Vulgaris is a good shout. Vulgaris is who I voted for. But it was Pinheiro, Hugo Pinheiro was the other one with multiple votes. Not really got a lot of Super League pedigree, I would suggest Vulgaris has more, and they're basically the same bang average. Shirtis as well, I would throw in the mix as well. All three are just, they're supposed to get dead good. They don't. Young goalkeepers never do. Enigma
so out of all of those, Seb Frey is by far the best goalkeeper on that list.
Yeah, he is.
Vulgaris and Shirtis, I think, are perfectly good Super League goalkeepers if given a chance. I think they both are sort of early 20s at the start of the game, am I right? Possibly even 19?
Yeah, might be 19, yeah, one of them.
So it does take time for them to develop. I mean, Pinero, I'm just very meh about Pinero. I have absolutely zero interest in Pinero at all. So I would pick him just because the others I feel have been disrespected being in that conversation.
Yeah, I think you're fair. What about centre-backs? This was pretty nailed on as well, in fairness. Both Hofland and Radoy got votes.
That's outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Hofland Not so much Radoy. Hofland is top 5 centre-backs on the game.
Left-footed centre-back, there is only Walter Samuel ahead
of him. Until this season, Rio would have been on the list.
It's not. Sorry. I thought you were talking about left-footed centre-backs. Yeah, Rio Ferdinand has got votes.
Sol Campbell won't be on there. Thing is, we're looking at this as really good players who are rubbish in the Super League. So you've already mentioned Taribo West. There's a fine line between myth and legend, isn't there? That's the problem.
Legend on a home save, myth in the Super League, and I think certainly is why he got the bulk of the votes. Him and Roberto Ayala. Yeah, him and Roberto Ayala were the two, and Lucio just behind. Those were the three.
Lucio's an outrageous shout as well. It's like, what are people watching to call Lucio a myth?
I would take Lucio in a heartbeat. Whoever takes over Fulchester.
Lucio and Hofland would be a title-winning centre-back partnership.
Fingers crossed for next season. Into DMC was overwhelming. There was only one answer for DMC.
They were picking Maresca just to piss you off, weren't they?
Somebody picked Maresca just to piss me off. Rocks did, yeah. But no, Mark van Bommel was the overwhelming.
I can see it. He should be a lot better than he actually is.
Yeah, my pick was Roy Keane because it's your job. You should be doing better than that. It's your job. You muted again, but I don't care what you're saying. He walked out of Ireland in 2006. He can fuck himself.
I'd walk out of Ireland as well.
Yeah, but you weren't born in Ireland.
Maybe we should
DMR
away from Dublin.
Yes, please. Good luck getting that past my wife.
Well, let's face it. I have a better chance of getting that past than you do.
Yes, you do. DMR, DML were very, very split, to be honest.
Because there's so many. Abel Javier would be on there.
We didn't get a single vote.
People forgot he existed.
Again, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there was because there's quite a few sort of top level DMRs. I had this conversation with Duggan recently. Emerton was his vote, and
he's not a myth.
He's the top 5 DMR
100%
in the game.
100%. And of course, the way the Super League developed as well, because if people are basing this on that, we're not just looking at sort of DDMRs when you're having this conversation, because look at, say, Kieran Dyer wouldn't necessarily be an automatic pick there, but because of what's happened, how the Super League's developed, that's where Kieran Dyer plays.
And he got put in that bracket of top 5 DMR. Yeah, basically it was Cafu, Zanetti, Dyer, Mike Duff. And then
bear in mind, before Kieran Dyer became an assist machine at Devils, 6 seasons ago or whatever it was now, nobody wanted Kieran Dyer.
Because he would have, you potentially say he's a myth at DMC.
I saved his career.
Would you
I'm taking full credit. I'm taking full credit for saving Kieran Dyer's career.
You could say the same about Mendieta. Technically, he could play DMR. Nobody
plays DMR.
Except for Ross, first game of the season. Other than that, nobody would play him there. Nobody play him really. DMC.
No,
he's a
MC.
DMRC that plays MC.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody got really a lot of votes. I think Ashley Cole was probably the most voted for DML.
See, I think that's harsh as well.
He's a left back playing further forward. Same with Roberto Carlos for me.
So just run me through who did get votes then, and let me see if any of them I would class as a myth.
Liverani.
Yes, big myth. Absolute massive myth.
A DML, yeah, because he's not a DML. But I have to keep playing him there.
Even at DMLC, myth.
He's always a midfielder. He's a centre
rubbish. In any position in a starting, he is someone who, if he was in my squad, he would be bombed out for the cheapest possible deal. Like, that's how big a myth he is. Rubbish.
He's been fine.
Rubbish. Hang on, let me just see how fine he is. Hang on. You keep talking.
It's absolutely just so beige.
Yes, that's the problem. Beige.
Yeah, he's
so for Foss Road this season, 3 starts and no sub appearances, no goals, no assists, no man of the match. Averages 1.3 tackles, 2.3 dribbles, and has a average rating of 7.
7 out of 10.
In his 3 appearances. His form is literally 6, 7, 8.
Beige.
In his 3 games.
Yeah, which is why Maresca plays ahead of him.
Fucking rancid. Liverani, myth. Right, next. Who else is on the list?
Zowry got a shout.
No.
I think that's a bit harsh.
Harsh?
He's done okay. He's fine.
Zowry's a good player. Zowry's a very good player.
He's a good player, but he's because he can play both sides. He is sub number 2.
Whoever put Zowry as myth, shame.
Tato.
Shame, Tato. Shame.
There's
I'm going to start shaming people.
There's players like Steve Finnan, Jamie Victory.
No, I'm not having Jamie Victory. Shame.
Julio Arca.
Arca's a bit harsh. He's never really had a fair chance, but okay.
For me, so the players I got...
I'm not bothered about Finnan, being honest.
Roberto Carlos was the player, right? On the left
side.
Whoever
put Carlos as a myth, shame.
Me?
Shame.
Just said it was me. I did.
Well, you...
He shouldn't play. He doesn't go further forward. And the other one for me... Has Roberto Carlos ever won the Super League?
Yeah, definitely. He must have been a burn when they won it.
Yeah, he's brought him back, so presumably.
Fuck, catch just bit me.
That's what you get. Has he been any good for anybody else?
Yeah. And he's just moved. Whoever he swapped Candea with, he was good there as well.
But Stackington?
Yeah.
If you say so.
I just need to make a quick call. Hang on.
You calling me?
Yes. Pick up the phone.
Sorry, mate. I'm busy. I'm on a podcast.
Shame.
And for me, this one will probably be contentious as well. Cosmin Contra on the right.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Shame.
Except for Undan Ian Edwards, he is beige. He is
no. I refute that.
He was absolutely.
If someone had said, for example, is it Pasotto? Then yes, I can understand that.
Who's ever played Pasotto?
Or the other one that begins with P as well. But I'm not having Cosmin Contra as a myth. Absolute nonsense.
Outside
Who the fuck have you been asking these questions?
Ian and me. These are the answers I've given. I've just said.
Well, this is why you've never been a success. Because you play an actual myth, and then you call really good players myths.
Well, I've got
I need a new. I'll
Say
tell you what.
Roberto and Brett Emerton. I don't
Whatever
need
the future of the Super League holds, I think Limbs needs a new co-host because fucking shame.
Oh, right, let's put it this way. Right, Z Roberto or Roberto Carlos?
I'd take either. Both as good as each other.
No, they're not.
In fact, no. Do you know what? Carlos, because Zé Roberto's an injury waiting to happen.
Okay, well, let's have a look at it this season then. What are they like? And Zé Roberto's having a fucking horror sheet season. Fuck off. For the audio listeners, Fyfie's a cunt. He has put the name of a very good film starring.
What am I looking for while you make this crap up?
What's the assists and rating for Roberto Carlos versus Zé Roberto? These last 2 seasons in the Super League, and then you can do the same with Contra and Emerton if you want, because that was my next question.
Right, Roberto Carlos I have on the screen. Here we go. I'm going to take the shame word down while we look at Roberto Carlos.
So that's 6 assists in 3 seasons.
And an average rating of, say, just over 7.5.
Yeah, which is fairly decent.
Apparently I've got caps lock on.
14 assists, a much higher rating average. And he's having a down season.
Is he?
Yeah.
And you'll base this purely off the number of assists?
Well, what else do you want from her?
Well, how many?
Emerton's not doing this, isn't it? 8 assists. Just
who am I comparing him to?
Contra.
We get the play. Oh look, 12 assists.
Slightly more assists, and has done
6 man of the matches and a significantly higher average rating, and you call him a myth.
I said between the two of them, Z Roberto all day, and I don't think Contra should be doing better than that. If everybody is taking him as highly as Steve.
If anything, I would say that you're not getting enough out of Emerton.
I'm not. I just said that because I passed the ball out to the left to Z Roberto in my tactics. That's how I set myself up. Pass to Z Roberto.
BTS content.
There you
go. Okay, let's go on moving through the team then.
Yeah, midfield and attacking midfield, sort of mostly filled with Zidane.
People would have picked Mark Kerr.
Mark Kerr got a lot of votes as well.
Thompson Zola Makoku, maybe?
No, he didn't get any votes because nobody has ever played him except for you. Seedorf.
Amanda? Oh, yeah, Seedorf's a shout.
No. Rivaldo. Rui Costa.
I'm not having Rivaldo. Rui Costa, yeah, just about. Seedorf, definitely.
Rivaldo, I could see as being a myth in the midfield because he's a winger.
Yeah, if you're playing him actually in midfield, maybe. If you're playing him AM or wide, then no.
Yeah, so specifically Duggan voted for Rivaldo in midfield because at midfield he's and the same with Veron being his AMC pick for a myth, specifically at AMC. Only at AMC was his votes there.
Not having that at all.
As we both know, he is a DMC with a forward arrow. Other players, David Collins, absolute myth. Nicky Ferenko.
See, now, I'm going to stick up for Collins here. I agree he is a myth, by the way. But he's only a myth because people have built up a reputation. There's nothing about him that says he's actually any good.
Yep.
He had one good season in Super League. I think it was under Scott.
Yep.
But there's nothing about him that says he's a good player other than people's perception of him.
100%, which makes him a myth. He's literally a mythical creature. He's been built up. Everybody thinks he's good. Why is he still in the Super League?
He's a myth for a different reason. He's not a Zidane-style myth, is he?
He's got out of league. Somebody's brought him in, like Jeff Whitley, because they like him on home saves. Written all over him. So why is he ever in the opening pool of Super League players? Why is he people going out of their way to try and fucking sign him? Shambles. Strikers was pretty heavy on the big name players that don't score very often.
Emil Impenza.
Shevchenko. Impenza didn't get a single vote. Ruud van Nistelrooy got plenty of votes. Shevchenko, Raul, Del Piero, Sigalko.
Raul and Shevchenko, definitely. Sigalko, I saw Sigalko actually when I was sort of flicking through the notifications. Sigalko's an interesting one. But of the ones you've said, Raul definitely, and Shevchenko would be the ones I would pick out that list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Sigalko as a shout because
I think when someone's won the Golden Boot as many times as him, it's hard to say he doesn't. I would blame the man. If he doesn't hit 15 plus goals, I blame the manager, not him.
Mm-hmm. So there you go, Jens. You're going to win the Super League this year, but shame. It's your fault. It's literally victim blaming because he was desperate for Sigalko to do really well, and he did not.
I like that. I might change the title of this episode to Shame.
Shame. There you go. So for me, the two picks I went with were Thierry Henry, apart from this season, and Constantinu. He must have had half of a good season somewhere and then gets passed around the league.
I'm not having Henry because he's not had a chance. Like Henry hasn't had a chance like he's had this year, so I struggle to pick Henry. Constantino, I can kind of see where you're coming from. He does seem to be a big game player, though. I would still argue Shevchenko and Raul were bigger myths.
What big games has Constantino ever played apart from the one fucking
Go on, say it.
Playoff game that Duggan never got to with him?
No, he does normally get to double figures in goals.
Yeah, as a striker, you have to get to double figures in goals.
Oh, you say that. There are so many that don't.
Yeah, and they should.
They should. You're right, but
they should. Yeah, if you're playing Constantino every single fucking week, which for either full chest.
I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. Anyone who's got Constantino as their starting striker has done something seriously wrong in the transfer market. But just because I don't think he's a first choice pick doesn't mean that he's a myth. So, I mean, I can see where you're coming from. I absolutely can. But I think there are bigger myths out there.
Yeah, all of the other players that have been taken. But the fact that nobody has looked at that and said, well, he's a third choice striker at best, that people have built up to be the number one striker at teams, and then wonder why those teams don't win anything.
Shane Tolley, myth.
Shane Tolley is a myth unless you juice him.
We don't do juicing in the Super League.
End of the myths anymore. End of the myths. But yeah, I thought it was quite funny that the people who shout about myths the loudest picked some really rancid, boring names. Yeah, that are basically not necessarily myths. They're just players they don't like.
We've reached an hour, so do you want one quick game before we finish?
Yeah. Right. Do you want Tic Tac Toe?
Okay.
Or do you want an almost impossible tenable?
Tic Tac Toe, then, please.
I thought that might be the case. So let's present share screen. The one other screen I've got. Brilliant. There we go. So as is now customary, I am zoomed in too much. Brilliant.
So for the benefit of those who are listening only, you'll be familiar by now with the Tic Tac Toe process. Along the top, the three selections are African nations, Manchester City, and Champions League winners. And along the side, we have Bayern Munich, Lazio, and MLS, played in the MLS.
Yeah, so we need to find 3 in a row, like Tic Tac Toe or Noughts and Crosses, if you fancy.
Should we do rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first?
Yeah, go for it.
So go on, shoot then, yeah?
Yeah, so rock, paper,
scissors, shoot.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't see what you've picked.
I picked. I was going to pick paper until I saw that you'd pick scissors, and now I'm picking stone.
No,
rock,
fuck off. I win.
No. You win. Yeah, it's fine. I will let you win that one. It's fine. So,
okay.
Ladies first then.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bayern Munich or Lazio, or a player that has been in the MLS from any African nation. A Man City player, again, who has also played for Bayern Munich, Lazio, or in the MLS.
Mm-hmm.
And then a Champions League winner that is Bayern Munich, Lazio, and or has played in the MLS.
Sorry, I'm getting a post-watershed text message.
So you're not Googling Lazio players that have played?
No, because Lazio Lazio was actually my pick, because I said to you when we were setting it up, which Italian teams have we had? And I went, I better go Lazio because they're probably the one that I know best of the rest. It was either them or Inter Milan, but I couldn't remember if we picked Inter Milan players.
I can't remember if we had or not. I know we've done Roma, and I didn't pick Cafu.
That's right. Okay, so now my technique for noughts and crosses normally isn't to go for the middle, but I have learned that the middle, when we play, is normally the best one to go for. Sorry, excuse me. That's that third arm and finger just repeating on me. So I will go with the easy option first and go for Kolarov for Man City and Lazio.
Yeah, that's annoying because that's the one I had as well. Kolarov.
I believe it's Orov, but okay.
Is it?
I believe so.
All right. I don't believe you. Kolarov. That looks wrong. And we'll make that red.
Red army. Red army. Red army.
Red in the middle. Okay, so I need to do something clever here to stop you. So let's go with keep as an African nation and Bayern Munich.
Okay.
I should do, but I can only get Aubameyang out of my head, and he obviously played for Dortmund, not Bayern Munich, I believe. So I'm going to ignore that one and go for. I've absolutely bottled this already because I had Kolarov in my head. I could only get Kolarov out of my head. I'm going to go Champions League winner and Lazio, Pedro.
Okay.
Because that one jumped out at me then.
Okay, I'm going to go Champions League winner that's played in the MLS as David Beckham.
Yeah, it's a good idea to do that.
Which puts you right back in that corner that you just escaped from.
Yeah. That I bottled a minute ago. Right. Bayern Munich player from an African nation. This surely. Where did... No, because he's Swiss. I was going to say that the centre-back at Man City, Akanji. Where did he just come from? It doesn't matter, because he's Swiss. Right. An Ivorian. Let's think of it. An Ivorian or a Cameroonian
Or a Nigerian.
Or a Nigerian who's played for Bayern Munich. Fuck. Okay.
If it helps you at all, I believe I've got 2, if not 3.
Fuck you. Okay. Let's think. Let's think about this. This is dead easy on paper.
Yeah.
Until the camera's.
That's why I went for the MLS one first before you took it.
I'm not convinced I would have got that one.
What, you wouldn't have got Beckham or Messi?
I forgot that Messi was.
You forgot Messi existed.
That he's currently in the MLS. Yeah.
Did Kaká not play in the MLS as well?
Hang on. Is Sadio Mane currently at Bayern Munich? He is, isn't he?
I believe so. Yes.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
Okay. If I go there, but that then does give him the opportunity to. Fuck. Okay, but then I get 2 stabs at it. So realistically, I'm not even thinking about the players I want to pick. I'm trying to decide where's the best place on the board to go. I believe my best port of call is to go for a Man City player that has played in the MLS.
Okay.
However, the first name that jumped out at me was Robinho because he did this for me last time as well. But I cannot remember if he went to America or not.
I should check.
Now, I just oh no, fuck it. No, forget him. No, Frank Lampard.
Yeah, that is correct. And Robinho has never played in the MLS anyway. Sean Wright Phillips would have also worked for him.
As would the Leeds player who came from Man City, Jack Harrison. And they've also got the American goalie who played against Swindon a couple of years ago. Zach something. Stretton? Something like that?
Stefan, yeah.
Stefan, sorry, yes.
So I've gone Leroy Sané to go with my Sadio Mane. And I've now got to really think of a Champions League winner that plays for Bayern Munich that rhymes with Sané and Mane.
Right, so you've gone Sané, but so it's my turn.
Yes, and you basically to stop.
And I need to think of an African player that's played in the MLS.
Yes.
Fuck. This was the one I was dreading. Right, who are the obvious African players? Can I think of any that I know went to America? Right, who's most likely to have gone to America? Would Drogba have gone? I don't think so.
I've got an answer, by the way.
Well, that's really helpful. Thank you.
No worries. Anytime. Although if you get this one wrong, I won't be going for that one anyway.
No, of course. Because you'll be going for the win yourself. So realistically, I have to get this anyway.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, the only other thing there is if I take your winning one, but then you've already got an answer anyway. So you're not going to let me win second time round.
Yeah, but it is an easy stop. It's not the worst idea.
Yeah, if I can't think of someone,
think of one.
then it means that I'm better off drawing than losing.
Yeah, as I do every fucking time.
I'm trying to just think of African nations at the moment.
Well, I mean, there's one African player that's played at 500 clubs that I'm surprised you haven't said yet. That I'm currently checking to see if he did go to America, because it wouldn't surprise me. He went to multiple countries.
Trying to think of any African players in the Super League as well.
JJ Okocha.
Yes, very, very true.
Did Chewy ever play in the MLS?
Right.
He did not. He did play for a team called Goblins, though.
Okay, let me talk you through my thought process.
Okay.
The MLS started to grow its reputation again, what, mid-20-teens-ish?
Yeah. This is a lot of waffle for an answer.
Which says to me, I'm trying to think who was playing in what eras, because I'm getting on a bit now and it all just merges into one. I've got the choice of probably two. I'm still saying I reckon Drogba went at some point, but I couldn't pick out a team he went to. And I'm in the back of my mind, I'm saying if Drogba went to the MLS, I would know Drogba went to the MLS.
Yeah, he probably would.
The same kind of thing really with the likes of Kanu. I'm sure they were big enough that I would know that they went to the MLS. So if I can't think of them in a team...
A bit earlier, wasn't he?
Yeah. So if I can't think of them in a team, I'm loath to pick them. The only other one that's kind of in my mind is the Newcastle player, not Papi Cisse, the other one, whose name escapes me for the moment. But I'm sure he spent a couple of years in America. My problem is I can't remember his name. So I either go for Drogba because I can remember his name, but not what club he may have played for, or I try and remember the Newcastle striker's name, who I'm pretty sure...
Cheek Tiote?
No, he was a striker. Okay. He was the one that played with Papi Cisse.
Demba Ba?
No, the other one. Did he not do the flips like Luar as well when he celebrated? I might be wrong. I might just be making this up.
You mean,
might just be
what, Shola Amiobi?
No, not Shola Amiobi.
Okay. Oh, Obafemi Martins.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Obafemi Martins, I'm sure, did go to America because I'm sure there was a famous interview with him at like Seattle or Colorado or Montreal or something like this. Is it Montreal, Canada? Do they have Canadian teams in the MLS?
Montreal is in Canada.
Do they have Canadian teams in the MLS?
Yes.
They do?
Yes. The Vancouver Whitecaps are in the MLS.
Okay. In which case, thanks for his name, I'm more confident that Obafemi Martins played in America than I am Didier Drogba. So I'll go Obafemi Martins, please.
Well, I can tell you that Didier Drogba was my answer because he played for Montreal. Because he played for Montreal.
Oh no, I've not confused them the wrong way round, have I? Oh, don't tell me that he's played for Montreal and Martins didn't.
Now, Cheek Tiote didn't play. Famously didn't play in America because he's dead.
The wrong one.
Demba Ba has played for hundreds of teams.
Pick the wrong one.
And Papi Cisse has also played for a lot of teams. None of them are in America.
I picked the wrong one. I should have gone with Drogba. I nearly went to.
Demba never played.
I didn't pick Demba Ba.
Who did you pick? Sorry,
Fyfie
Martins. Famously French, Fyfie Martins.
Oh fuck! Is he French? Oh shit! I thought he was like Ghanaian or something.
He's Nigerian.
Oh, well, that's African.
Was very famously playing for Wuhan in 2020. Not a place you wanted to be at that time.
Certainly not, no.
And before that was in Shanghai for Shanghai Shenhua.
Oh, he was in Asia, not America, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, also played in Russia, Germany, Italy.
The fact we're milking this suggests that he may have actually played in America at some point.
Spain. Also played 72 games for the Seattle Sounders, where he scored 40 goals. Cunt, I hope you get rickets. And not Michael.
Come on. And you know, the only reason that's happened is because I was initially going to go for Man City Bayern Munich, but I realised I would have 2 chances to win if I picked Man City MLS.
Yeah, dick. It's really annoying that you bodged the fucking win again on that.
Matt, in fairness, my other choice was Drogba, who you said did play in the MLS, so I would have got it right either way.
Yeah, but this is the same where you fucking every single time you pull a fucking answer out your arse. Fuming. So for a Bayern Munich,
this one, at least this one was. This one wasn't sort of as left field as me remembering that what's his face had played for Rangers and in Turkey.
Yeah, ridiculous. Do you have an African player that played for Lazio?
There must be loads. Must be loads. Must be loads of them.
Can't think of any on the top of my head, so I'm going to struggle with that one. Presume there's one in their current squad.
I wouldn't know who's in their current squad. I'm probably better thinking of 0102, to be fair, mate.
I can only think of Mateus Almeida that was in the 0102 squad. Their current squad, they don't have any African players in their current squad.
Really?
Yeah. They do. They have Jean-Daniel Akpro, who's on loan at Monza.
Akpro? Is that the ex-Stoke guy?
He is not. No.
Oh, is he? Who's the ex-Stoke guy whose agents got him moves to places like Bayern Munich for no obvious reason?
No idea. Oh, they've got Mohamed Farish as well, who is Algerian, who's on loan at Brescia as well.
Well, this has been fun.
No, it's not, because I fucking lose every week. Fuck you.
We will see you again in Super League tomorrow. We will see you again on Late Limbs probably next week, unless we decide to do something random on Sunday. It's now just coming up 11 p.m. I better get these packs done so I can go to bed. From myself and from Mr. Smuts, thank you very much for your time. Whether you're watching it in the morning, afternoon, or evening, we will see you again soon. Goodbye.
Watch out for man-sized ducks. Toodles.